right, so we're here with Week 18, the final week for picks. There's a lot of games in here where it's just, a lot of divisional games where it's like, okay, this team should win, that team should win. So I'm not going to touch too much on it because, playoffs are basically set. And then obviously, we still have a couple surprises that could happen. But getting into this, we have two Saturday games, Kansas City and Denver, Dallas, Philly. Kansas City, I am picking to beat Denver. That one should be obvious. Denver's just playing for pride and playing for spoil right now, but I don't think they can do that. Then Dallas, Philly is the night game for Saturday. Micah Parsons is on the COVID list right now. Both teams are technically already in the playoff race, so this doesn't affect too much. So I'm actually going to say that Philly upsets Dallas at home. Again, this doesn't mean a lot. Yes, it can affect, moving up or down, a couple spots in the playoffs, but they're both playoff bound. So again, it's not a huge deal who wins this game right now. But I'm going to go Philly just because I think, not having Micah Parsons out there, I think potential of, both teams sitting some players possibly. And I think that Philly will end up coming with the win. I think it'll be a sloppy win, but I think they could. Then Washington, Giants, I don't have a lot to say here. Nothing really on the line here. I'm going with Washington just because Giants are just so bad. Cincinnati, Cleveland. Cincinnati's still technically fighting for that 1 seed right now. Cleveland's obviously trying to play spoiler because they're out of the playoffs. So I'm going Cincinnati. There's maybe they can get the way my picks are, they can't get the 1 seed, but you never know. They could get the 1 seed. They need Tennessee and Kansas City to lose, I believe. Or are they? No, they're in the second spot, so they just need Tennessee to lose, I think is what it is. Then Pittsburgh, Baltimore here. Pittsburgh is fighting for their lives. I went over this. We talked about this yesterday, but they need the Colts to lose to the Jags and whatnot. Baltimore needs the same thing, but they also need other, more complicated stuff. Versus Pittsburgh, it's only basically technically 2 games. And they just don't need the Chargers and Raiders to tie, but it is what it is. But I'm going Pittsburgh. I think they should be able to possibly beat Baltimore. I think it'll be a good game, and I think that I think Pittsburgh has a shot. Both teams are still fighting for a playoff shot, but Pittsburgh has the better chance at a playoff shot. Then Green Bay, Detroit. This game means nothing. Rodgers, Adams, some of the starters want to play. Probably going to play a half, maybe only a quarter. We'll see. But I think Detroit's, they're technically still good. They can get the one draft spot, the number 1 draft pick. So I think they're going to probably try to lose this one, to be honest. But, you never know. With Jordan Love playing, Detroit could win this. You just never know. Then Indy, which this game relies on Indy losing. A lot of teams rely on Indy losing this game. Again, whole breakdown yesterday talking about it. But I'm going with Indy to beat Jacksonville. I think they can get it done. Then Chicago, Minnesota, meaning in this game. I'm going Minnesota just because Kirk Cousins is obviously better than Justin Fields. And I think I like that Minnesota defense a little more than that Bears defense. So, I know both are okay defenses. But I think I'm going to go Minnesota here because their offense is going to be better, especially with Kirk Cousins out there. Tennessee, Houston. I'm going to go Tennessee. Tennessee is trying to hold on to the 1 seed, so they're playing for everything. You get a win, you basically lock up the 1 seed, but you lose to Houston, who has already played spoiler once. They can, the 1 seed can get messed around, and you can lose that in a heartbeat. So Tennessee's playing for their lives here for the 1 seed. So I have them beating Houston. Derrick Henry, I believe, is coming back. I think it's I don't know. It might not be this week. It might be the playoffs, depending on if they get the 1 seed. Or they might be 2 weeks, might be next week. We'll see. New Orleans, Atlanta. New Orleans is trying to fight and hope that the San Francisco 49ers lose to the Rams. So New Orleans is fighting for their playoff lives here. They got to beat Atlanta. I believe it was a close game last time with New Orleans barely winning it, but I think they can win it again. Again, they're fighting for the playoff lives here. So Seattle, Arizona, not too much on the line. Cardinals can get, I think they can get bumped down and lose. If they lose to Seattle, I think they can get bumped down. I forget what is the Niners' record. Are they a game behind? I don't remember. But not a lot here. I'm going with Arizona, but not too much can be affected here, even if Arizona loses. Jets, Buffalo. Not a lot to say here. It should be Buffalo. Jets are, going for a higher draft pick. So, and I'm sure Allen probably plays a half. I think they play a half, and Buffalo wins this handedly. Carolina, Tampa. Tampa's trying to fight. They're I think the third or fourth seed right now. So they're trying to fight. Stay up there in 2 or 3 and whatnot, depending on what happens. So not a lot here. That they may rest some starters too, because they can't. The most they can go up to is second seed right now. So not a lot can be affected here. So I got Tampa winning this game. Again, meaningless. New England, Miami. But New England has a shot at the 1 seed technically. Again, I broke this down, talked about this yesterday in my video. Again, there's a lot going on here that I talked about in my video yesterday. So New England's gonna try to win and see what happens to the rest of the teams here. Obviously, a lot of them will play before them, so they could be good playing at 325 and seeing what everyone else has done. San Francisco and the Rams. I am actually picking San Francisco to upset. I think they are playing. They're trying to stay in the playoffs versus the Rams are in the playoffs, and obviously, yes, they're trying to fight for the division, but Niners are fighting for their playoff lives. If they lose and New Orleans wins, San Fran's kicked out of the playoffs. So I think they're going to come out with heart and a big fire in their inside. I just messed it up. So I think they're going to want to stay in the playoffs. I think they're going to come out fighting against the Rams. I think this should be a good game. Should be a fun game. But I have San Francisco upsetting. And then for the final game, Chargers, Raiders. I have the Chargers winning this one. I just feel like the Raiders are too inconsistent. I don't know how to feel about them. Yes, they just beat up on the Colts. Or not really beat up, but they barely escaped the Colts. But I feel like despite how inconsistent the Chargers can be, they're a little more consistent than the Raiders. So I'm picking the Chargers to win versus the Raiders in a sloppy game. Maybe high scoring, maybe like 28-27 or something like that. We'll see. So those are my picks for Week 18. God, I can't wait. It's going to be interesting to see how this week goes. So for now, like the video, share the video around, don't forget to subscribe, and I'm out of here. Peace.